Lila, chapter 1. It was verse 102, so normally today it's 103 and the following.
Yeah, it seems like there was no Charitamrita last time. It was Bhagavatam instead.
Yeah.
That's what I can know when I was doing classes.
Yeah, the last one I saw it's Gopaswami Prabhu. It was very far.
Yeah, probably not. Maybe it was.
Anyway, it was this one, 102. So it's Adi Lila, first chapter, 103. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 1 and verse 103. Seidui Prabhura Kari Charana Vandan Yanahaite Vignanas Abhista Puran. Seidui Prabhura Kari Charana Vandan Yanahaite Vignanas Abhista Puran. Say this. Dui tu. Prabhura of the Lords. Kari I do. Charana feet. Vandana obeisances. Yanahaite from which Vignanas destruction of obstacles. Abhishta Purana fulfillment of desires. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Let us therefore worship the holy feet of these two lords. Thus one can be rid of all difficulties on the path of self-realization. There is no purport.
No.
Although there is a big purport from that.
Who's speaking?
It's Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami who is giving the invocation of Chaitanya Charitamrita, and all those invocation there will be like 13 different of them, and he will then expand on those invocation. So he previously he already described the first two invocation, and now he's concluding the second one by offering obeisances to Chaitanya and Nityananda. And in this verse he's telling that by just offering and worshipping the lotus feet of the Lords, Gaur Nitai, Gaur Nitai Ki, one can be rid of all difficulties on the path of self-realization. In the verse it is mentioned Vignanas, all the obstacles are destroyed, and second blessing, Abhishta Puran, all desires are fulfilled. What kind of desire? Best are spiritual desire. We don't want that other desires are fulfilled, otherwise we remain entangled in this material world. That's not the goal. But because of all these other desires are obstacles, then they are destroying those obstacles. So So next verse is Eidu Shloke Kaila Mangala Vandan Tritiya Shlokera Harta Shuna Sarvajan. I have invoked the benediction of the Lord with these two verses. Now, please hear attentively the purport of the third. Vaktavya Baulya Granta Vishtare Radare Vishtare Navarni Sararta Kai Alpakshare. I purposely avoid extensive description for fear of increasing the bulk of this book. I shall describe the essence as concisely as possible. So here, Krishnadas Kaviraj is telling that on each invocation there's so much things we can be said. Sometimes it is said like Anantashesh was thousand of mouths. He can even with his simultaneous glorification of the Lord, he cannot find any end of this glorification. And that's what Krishnadas Kaviraj says, is that we could say so much thing about the glories of Gaunitai that the book can be much bigger than what it is really now. And just he has to keep very concise. There's a big aphorism which is said about that, which is that essential truth spoken concisely is true eloquence. You know that? But this is the next verse. Mitam cha saram cha vachoi vagminahiti. Essential truth spoken concisely is true eloquence. So it is in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shishi Gaunita ki jai, Shishi Radha Govinda Madhava ki jai, Shishi Krishna Balaram ki jai. Yeah, the true eloquence is to speak concisely, and the essential truth are spoken like that. Vedanta Sutra is a book made of sutras, very short sutras, which explain so much thing. And when we elaborate on each sutra of the Vedanta Sutra, and when it is done by the author of Vedanta Sutra, who is Vyasadeva, it becomes this famous book, which is yes, Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh, yeah. Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Srimad Bhagavatam is still extensively expanded by the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, who gathered so many truth and ideas and stories here and there, that they wrote so many nice books like Srimad Brihad Bhagavatamrita, or Laghu Bhagavatamrita, and so many other books. So this is next verse is Shunile Kandibe Shitera Ajana Di Dosha Krishna Gada Premahabe Paibe Santosha. Very nice verse. Simply hearing submissively will free one's heart from all the faults of ignorance, and thus one will achieve deep love for Krishna. This is the path of peace. Very nice verse. Huh? Simply hearing submissively will free one's heart from all faults of ignorance, and thus one will achieve deep love for Krishna. This is the path of peace. Hearing submissively means being humble and just listen and don't speculate on waiting for our turn to speak, like the false ego is urging us to do. Hearing submissively frees the heart from all faults of ignorance. It reminds this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is say 1:2:17. Mentioned by Srila Prabhupada in Markine Bhagavad Dharma. First one is. Yes, in the mic.
Yeah.
Shrinvantam Svagata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanam Vidyanti Sto Yabadarani Vidunuti Suritsatam. Just by listening to the words of the Bhagavatam, whatever dirt is there in the heart is completely vanished. So by hearing submissively, one can free the heart from all the thoughts of ignorance. And this is the way to achieve deep love for Krishna, to take away all which is gathered on the path, take it out from the heart, so that the heart can express what is already there. What is the verse? Kabunoi. The love of God is already there in the heart naturally. We don't need to look wherever else to find it. It is there in the heart already. What we just have to do is just to get rid of all the dirt which is there accumulated during birth after birth. To get rid of all this unwanted desire which are just blocking the true right desire to feel this deep love for Krishna. And when we feel this love for Krishna, what we are induced? Service. Because love is expressed by service. Love is not like Canadian, they are saying we are in love.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a state love. It's something that we are feeling, but it is expressed in some way through devotional service. And that's the art of Srila Prabhupada, to just give us this essential truth, is that what we are practicing is devotional service. Devotional service. And our eternal nature is to be a servant. And this is our Sanatan Dharma. Our Dharma, eternal Dharma, is to be a servant. And to remember that is one of the items of the humility. There is 3 items of humility. Did you know that? First is to accept that we are not the doer.
What is doer?
Doer.
What does it mean? I forget.
The doer is the one who is acting, thinking that we are the one acting. We are not the doer. Sometimes we think so much that we are the doer that we become proud. And the humble person is understanding that, no, I'm not the doer, in fact. In fact, there is 5 factors to the action. There is time, circumstances, there is my desire, and ultimately there is the one who is allowing that everything is happening, is the Supreme Lord. The doer. The one who does, the doer.
Celui qui se croit à la hauteur de l'acte.
Sometimes even when we remember Krishna, we are still contaminated by this tendency. Like sometimes we are asking for things, and we are asking, like, for example, I need please, my Lord, I want a parking lot. I want a place of parking. So you are driving and you say, I will get a parking lot when I go. And when you arrive somewhere and you find a parking lot and you say, oh Lord, don't worry, I already found one.
Oh no.
We are thinking that we are the doer. And that's Keshav Maharaj is telling this story. It's very funny. The second item in humbleness is thinking that we deserve. we must think that we don't deserve.
Oh, yeah.
We are always thinking, I'm getting that, I deserve it. But it's not that because of our action or some of our qualities or some of our we deserve to get something. No, we are always thinking when we are humble that we don't deserve what we are getting. We are getting something, and we say it's because of your grace, Krishna, that I'm getting this or that. I didn't do anything valuable, so that I have all this good result. But in the other way, we are thinking that yes, I deserve much more punishment than what I'm really getting because I did so much wrong in my previous lives. And the third, I'm not the doer, I don't deserve. And the third one is I'm a servant. I am a servant. This is my nature. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Mahadva Tanara Bhakta Bhakti Nama Premara Satadva Bina Bina Likiyashi Kariyash Vichar Shunire Janibe Sabha Vastu Tadvasara. If one patiently hears about the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, and Sri Advaita Prabhu and their devotees, devotional activities, names, fame, and the mellows of their transcendental loving exchanges, one will learn the essence of the Absolute Truth. Therefore, I have described this in Chaitanya Charitamrita with logic and discrimination. Generally, when at the end of each chapter, either in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, we are always getting some blessing. Because of hearing this chapter, the author is always giving, by hearing patiently those glories, you are getting this result, that result. And here specifically, for the first chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says that the mellow of the transcendental loving exchange between all the members of the Panchatattva, one will learn the essence of the Absolute Truth. Therefore, I have described this with logic and discrimination. Before coming into the pastimes of Chaitanya and Nityananda, Krishnadas Kaviraj is giving all the essence of the Absolute Truth. What are the truth of between each personality, how we have to understand their real position and everything. Before explaining how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is behaving, we have to really understand that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Otherwise, like it is explained in when you look in some dictionaries or in some Wikipedia or those things, when they are speaking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are saying that it's a holy saint speaking about God in the Bengal in the 50th century. They are just missing the real purport of who was this personality. Who is this personality? That this is God Himself who is coming to enliven and give the process of devotional service and to free all the conditioned souls from this Kali Yuga. So this is why Krishnadas Kaviraj established all those truths, and they will be expanded during the 12 chapters of Adi Lila. We will expand on the truth, on the evocation of the first chapter. And as he's concluding each chapter, he's saying, Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Yaharahas Chaitanya Charitamrita Kare Krishnadas, praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy. I, Krishnadas, narrate Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Lila, first chapter describing the spiritual masters. And we're starting chapter 2, we have a purport. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu Vande Balapi Yadanugrahat Tarennana Matagraha Vyaktam Siddhanta Sagaram. I offer my obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even an ignorant child can swim across the ocean of conclusive truth, which is full of crocodiles of various theories. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. By the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even an inexperienced boy with no educational culture can be saved from the ocean of nations, which is full of various types of philosophical doctrines that are like dangerous aquatic animals. The philosophy of the Buddha, the argumentative presentation of the Gyanis, the yoga system of Patanjali and Gautama, and the system of philosophers like Kanada, Kapila, Dattatreya, and are dangerous creatures in the ocean of nations. By the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can have a real understanding of the essence of knowledge by avoiding these sectarian views and accepting the lotus feet of Krishna as the ultimate goal of life. Let us all worship Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for his gracious mercy to the conditioned souls. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavan Ki Jai. So, Srila Prabhupada is appreciating this truth, is that even an inexperienced boy, ignorant child, can swim across the ocean of conclusive truth, which is full of crocodiles of various theories. Srila Prabhupada is describing what kind of crocodiles, what kind of deviant philosophical doctrines are there in the ocean of Kali Yuga, and is really caring to mention them. The philosophy of the Buddha, the argumentative presentation of the Gyanis, the yoga system of Patanjali, Gautama, and the system of philosophers like Kanada, Kapila, Dattatreya. These are known as the different systems of philosophy known in the Vedas. And we'll see that in the pastime of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, will convince some person of with each tendency. He will change their mind and will convince them about the fact that Ashintya Beda Beda Tattva is higher truth than whatever other presentation of the philosophy was there before. And so this is not only, it's not a sentimental imposition of the mind, as Srila Prabhupada was saying. It is also really philosophical. It is very deep, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita there are many arguments which are given to us to first fight our mind and our speculation in the mind, and also to give arguments to those persons who are deviating by these philosophies. So it is very important to learn and to study all those arguments so that we understand the purport for ourselves and for others, because it is very subtly that those influence can be remaining in ourselves, or even coming back after some time in our practice of Krishna consciousness. So we have to really be careful and to be to study. Srila Prabhupada gave us this very specific instruction to study regularly, at least 1 hour per day, those books, so that we understand the things properly. Otherwise, we can really easily be misguided, even by others, but even by our own mind, who can just make us feel that we are the doer, we deserve more than what we are getting, and, or we are not the servant, but we have to be served, which are the really. And sometimes we can see that it can come just really easily, specifically if we in the course of our service we are getting like some appreciation, or we are getting some like position or things like that, then we can just be misled that, oh yeah, I have been recognized for what I am, and we are forgetting that we are a servant. We are thinking that now I'm a leader, or now I'm the one who is giving example, or I'm the one who understood and can teach others. And we are just forgetting that we are just the bearer of the message, that we are a servant of the message, and we have to always remember that. And by reading the books of Srila Prabhupada is reminding us again and again, purport after purport, always that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are eternal servant of Krishna, and we are just fools and rascals. He's reminding us that. And this is, we may think it's harsh, but we have to think, no, it's so nice, it's so kind from him to just remind us who we are and what is our real position. Otherwise, we can become very easily intoxicated. Once there is a little less pressure in this world, we are thinking, oh, we are relieved, and we are thinking, yeah, now I deserve. I'm getting the result of my austerities, of my good behavior, or things like that, you know. We call that Taranga Rangini. It's Vijayanath Chakravarti Thakur was speaking about Taranga Rangini. Is enjoying the waves coming with as fruit of bhakti. Bhakti is giving a lot of things, you know, for the devotees, because it's very rare. Somebody who is serving the Lord, taking this path and everything. Krishna is ready to give so much. But we must not take those things for ourselves. We must engage all those things into Krishna's service. That's what the great example like Srila Prabhupada and all the sadhus are showing to us. That whatever they are getting, they are engaging in the propagation of Sankirtan movement. That's what they are doing. If we are keeping something for ourselves and we are really looking, it's for enjoying something for ourselves. It is to satisfy some material desires, and we have to be really careful that we are not meant for that. The fruits which are coming because of bhakti, we have to engage them in the service. That's how we, in India we see that there's so much devotional attitude. They are understanding that even the Ganges, when they are taking the water of the Ganges, they are offering back to the Ganges. When they are getting something, they are bringing back to the temple. Srila Prabhupada was mentioning to the devotees when they are asking, how can we do that as grihasthas? So you are getting your paycheck every month. You bring them to the deity, to the home, your house deity, and you are showing the paycheck. Thank you. That's for you. That's for you. I will engage whatever energy you are into your service. I will feed the boys and girls that you gave me in charge, and I will feed them, I will give them good education, I will dress them, I will eat their house, I will take care nicely of whatever you gave to me, the service you gave me. That's how we are engaging all this energy and remembering that we are just a servant. We are not the doer. We are not the doer, and we don't deserve. So those philosophies, I'm not expert in those understanding the system philosophies of Canada. Kapila is the false Kapila who is speaking about the Samkhya Yoga, like the understanding of the elements, like it's little what are doing the people now in this world who are trying to understand the laws of nature by studying all the elements and everything, but forgetting that there is a one behind all the zeros, and that there is the 26th element, Krishna, or the soul. Even the soul they are not considering. They are putting this aside and they are just looking to the 5 elements and the subtle elements and all those things. Yoga system. Srila Prabhupada is mentioning the yoga system. Sometimes some person can be just thinking that making the body fit and controlling the mind with the yoga postures is really so important that it's becoming much more important than everything. It may be used, but in the Krishna service. It means to have a body fit and the mind peaceful, so that we can engage in Krishna service. If we always forget to engage in Krishna service, then those philosophies are really bad. They are compared in this verse as crocodiles, graha, crocodiles. And if we are not kept safe by the practice of devotional service, inexperienced boy swimming in this ocean, those crocodiles that can capture us so easily. That's why Srila Prabhupada, he gave a facility, is that we don't have to swim into the ocean. We just have to come on a boat. He described that he started a movement, Sankirtan movement, which is described as a boat, with an experienced captain, with the sail of the scriptures, in which the wind can blow, so that we can be directed and transported to the spiritual world. This is a very nice arrangement. So it means that we have to be really expert to come into the boat and stay into the boat. If we just want to experience, I will swim a little in this ocean of Kali Yuga, there is no risk because I have so much knowledge. No, it's really risky. There are crocodiles, just to say the least. There are also squales and there are whales and there are so many timingila and which are eating whales even and even. So it's very risky place. This boat, the main aspect of this boat, as it is explained in the 12th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Kalyan Dosha Nidirajan Astyeko Mahanguna Kirtana Deva Krishna Sya Mukta Sangha Parambrajet. And this Kali Yuga is an ocean of fault, and there is only one good quality. It's just by chanting the holy name, one can cross the ocean of nations. So together we are here to just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Hare Hare. And by the grace of Srila Prabhupada on his boat, will cross this ocean of nations. Right. Is there any further points or argument or questions?
Alors, what's the importance of logic? Because I was debating the other day with somebody. And because now the philosophy is, if you think if you think it's true, you know. It's not very logical, you know. And so what's important is logic in understanding Krishna consciousness. Because it's a science. I was presenting it's a science. Yeah, it's not a science. I mean, it's a total science. So can you talk a little bit about?
The question, let me clarify the question. What is the importance of logic in Krishna consciousness?
Okay, what's the importance of logic, understanding logically, and how Krishna consciousness is a science? Yeah.
How Krishna consciousness is a science. Okay. The science is defined as a process where you look into an hypothesis, then you go into the experiencing about this hypothesis and finding the conclusion. Is the conclusion confirming the hypothesis? So Krishna consciousness is a real science in that sense, that the hypothesis is that there is a God, and to go back to the in the kingdom of God, we have to serve Him by chanting the holy name. And the experience is that by following the instructions of the spiritual master, which is based on this hypothesis, we can get the fruit. And whoever is applying the thesis of the spiritual master can really gather the fruits of love of God and so on. So in this sense, it is a science. To experience the science, we really have to follow all the rules which are given into the science. Then we can find the fruit and confirm that the hypothesis is right. But if we are not applying properly, then we'll not get the truth. And this is also scientific. And so logic to demonstrate that Krishna consciousness is right is very simple. Then the different arguments of the different philosophy can be debated also by devotees. And the example will be given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will meet different personalities, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, for example. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya will expand all the philosophy, Mayavad philosophy, extensively. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will have a very nice attitude. He will just listen during 7 days, even to all those poison. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya will have this change of attitude, is that he will say, but to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you didn't say anything. Do you have something to say about what I said? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya will change his attitude, instead of saying, I know, I will tell you what is the truth, and expounding all his philosophy, he will take another position, more humble, and what can you say about what I said? And because of this attitude, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be able to say something, and when he will say something, it will just blow the mind of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who was considered a great scholar at that time. They were specifically speaking about one verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is called the Atmarama verse. Atmaramas Chamunayo, you know this verse. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will explain this verse in 18 different ways. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya will be completely amazed by the ways which he didn't thought about. And even Krishnadas Kaviraj will mention more, 64 ways to explain this specific verse at the end of the Madhya Lila of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we see that Vaishnava is not just a sentimentalist, is really ready to use logic to demonstrate that the higher truth of Krishna consciousness. Is it complete? Do you expecting more? Is it okay?
Hare Krishna. So, I mean, one thing to add on to that, like you said, hypothesis, method, and your conclusion. So if your conclusion is not right in your experiment, you go back to your method, and then you say, what can I change in my method? And then you do the experiment again. So Krishna consciousness is the same thing. If I say something to you, and you think, I don't think it's right, you can go and ask somebody else. And if that person says the same thing, then you know it's correct. But if he says something different, then you know there's a mismatch now. So now you have to say, where can I see this? Which one of you is right? So you go back to the Shastra and you look for the answer in the Shastra, and then that will confirm, is he right, am I right, or are we both wrong? So that's the science. With the science you always have to ask why, and then you find your answer.
Why? Why? Because the answer is there in the Shastra.
It's in the Shastra, right?
Yes. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Okay. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki, Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavan ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Viva!
Dhananjaya Prabhu ki.